So, hello everyone. Today I want to give you a very quick review. Now, some of you may recognize this book and others may not. Some may remember this book from like the 2000s. 2011, this was published back when 2010, 2012, and 2011, that kind of years had really, really good books. So this is my little review. It's taken me a month to read this book, and there are particular reasons why it's taken me a month to read this book. Um, but luckily, I managed to finish it. I will not be keeping it, just because I have my reasons. So before I talk about this book, I do want to mention that there is a trigger warning in here of attempted assault and attempted SR, that kind of thing, which that chapter made it really, really uncomfortable for me to read that one chapter because it was in a really kind of detailed kind of thing. But anyway, so yeah, if any of those things you've been through or you don't like that kind of thing, then obviously click off this video now because you have been warned that it does have attempted essay and attempted uh, grapes, and I will leave it at that. But this is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I have given this 2 stars on Goodreads. So I will read the back. So Amy has left the life she loves for a world 300 years away. Trapped in space and frozen in time, Amy is born to a new planet. But 50 years before she's due to arrive, she is violently woken. The victim of an attempted murder, now Amy's lost on board, and nothing makes sense. She's never felt so alone. Yet someone is waiting for her. He wants to protect her, and more as she'll let him. But who can she trust amongst the secrets and lies? A killer is out there, and Amy has nowhere to hide. So while I appreciate the covers are very, very pretty, I do believe that this may be out of print now, so you can only get this like second hand. And as I say, the cover's kind of pretty. It's basically a story about a ship called Godspeed, and they're going to a new kind of planet, and they've frozen people from, I think it's like Sol Earth or Earth, to go on this journey with them to be cryo frozen. So there is like the science fictions there, like the cryo frozen, the DNA cloning type of thing. If you're into that kind of thing, then this book would be for you. Spaceships, stars, that kind of thing. Um, while I love my science fiction, it was just because my reason for not keeping this book was because of that one chapter with that trigger in there. And that just doesn't sit well with me, hence why I just don't want to keep it. And it's a shame, it's a real shame. It's actually been sitting in my to be read pile since 2011. It's now 2024. So I've finally gotten around to this book, and I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. Um, Going off on a side note, I think the me before the things that happened in my life, I would have kept this and enjoyed this. But if you don't know, I cover a lot of films um, over on the Nova Project, and we talk about these things a lot, these issues that generally happen to people. And because I'm a bit more aware now of these situations and that this generally does happen to real people in real lives, hence why I look at things very differently now, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't sit right with me, it's going. But anyway, it's basically Elder and Eldest who run the ship, and they are basically the leaders, and they made up a fake plague in order to control the population, because they went absolutely mental, because they found out that it started off as 54 years behind, and I think it ended up at like 200 years behind. So they're never gonna, them and their grandchildren, their children, their grandchildren are never gonna like see the new earth. So it's like false hope, and Godspeed is just getting slower and slower to get there, and is slowly breaking. This is book 103, by the way, so this is a trilogy, so there is more to this story. And I probably will read the other two, but just not right now, because I want to go on to something that I will enjoy a lot more. But yeah, but basically, Amy thinks that she was pulled, and there's this other elder who is alive, and he took like his wiki or something come out of his side, which tells everyone like dots and where they are and etc. And he was the one who was pulling the cryos out, the frozen people, and they were basically dying. And they found out that it was, I think his name is Orin, and they found out he was the previous elder, and he didn't agree with the way Eldest was doing things, and basically given medication to the whole ship to make them not act normal, and they weren't normal, and it was a bit I want to say it's a bit inhumane, like doing that to a population and just giving them medication to make them silent and not rebel and stuff like that. But obviously they eventually find out who the killer is, and yeah. So it's basically that kind of book. Like I say, I want to keep this review short and sweet because I'm not 100% keen on it. But I'm going to give this 2 stars, and the fact that it took me all these years. But the cover's kind of pretty though, with the spacey kind of vibe. But yeah, so that's my little review. Not a great review, but it's better than nothing, right?